Hello, this is the video for Tuesday, August 4. Today our Bible reading is 2 Chronicles chapter 20. I've got a link to 2 Chronicles 20 in the description of this video if you want to read the passage online. I strongly encourage you to read the passage in some way, shape, or form before you watch the rest of this video. So we've been going through a Bible overview reading plan. You may remember, if you've been following along, that a little while back we read about a king of God's people named Solomon. And I said that after the reign of Solomon, God's people were split in two. There's a kingdom of Israel in the north and a kingdom of Judah in the south. For a little while, a week or so, we've spent some time looking at the northern kingdom, Israel. And now with today's reading, we're moving down to the south and looking at the kingdom of Judah. So today we have a story that takes place during the reign of a king whose name is Jehoshaphat. During the reign of Jehoshaphat, there is an army that comes up against God's people. And Jehoshaphat and all the people look to God for help. They look to God to give them strength. And God answers them. God says, "Don't be afraid. I'm going to deliver you." And so the people trust God's word as they go forth to meet this army. They sing praise to God. They trust that God's going to deliver them. And God does. By the time they even get to the army, God has wiped them out. God does all the work for them. And so we see in this passage that God takes away his people's fear. God has promised that he's going to be with us. So we don't have to be afraid when we're threatened. Now, things might not always work out as neatly as they do in this passage. Everything goes smoothly for God's people here. And God doesn't promise us that we'll never suffer, that we'll never have hardships and disappointments. But we still don't need to be afraid because we know that God is more powerful than anything we can face. God can keep us safe no matter what threat it faces us. God can heal any sickness. God can stop any threat. But we also know that even if God doesn't stop some threat, that he loves us. As the people say, God's love endures forever. God always cares for us. God never leaves us on our own. And God promises that even though we have suffering now at times, because of the work of Jesus, he will set all things right. God takes away our fear because God lets us know that we're never alone. And God lets us know that nothing can come and hurt us that is beyond his control because he controls all things. And he works for our good, even in the midst of hard times. So that's the thought I had today with this reading. If you've got thoughts or comments that you'd like to share, please go ahead and do so, and I'll respond to you. Otherwise, I hope that you have a wonderful day.